Hi, my name is Tara, this is Mario-kun, and we are going to do some JLPT N4 practice problems. Here we go. We have N5 and N4 level courses using these books, Mina no Nihongo. Now come to nihongonomori.com. Okay, first up we got この学校は日本語の森 blank 言います. So this school is 日本語の森言います. Now 言います comes from the verb 言う, which means to say, but we also use it a lot when we're giving the name of something, right? So here we're saying this school is named 日本語の森. Now here our options are と, で, が, and に. Now de is that like the means of transportation or the means of doing something or the place where something happens. Ga is like the subject marking particle, so it'll be like 誰がやったの?私がやった. And then ni marks like people doing actions toward each other, or it can also mark like the place where you're trying to go, like the direction of your movement. And this particle to is really often used with this you verb, this like speech particle. So things that have to do with like speech and written language and saying the names of things or being like, he said blah 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 blah, it'll be nani nani to iimasu. So here our answer is going to be to. All right, next question. All right, got a little Morio-kun peeking out over here. Hi. Okay. N4 no kanji wa muzukashii no de 2つ blank わかりません. So N4 kanji is difficult. So, and then this no de, that's like the same thing as kara. So because N4 kanji is difficult, here what's happening is we're saying I only know 2. So 2つ is 2 things. So 2 kanji, I only know 2 of them. Now here again we have to and ni. And then we have zutsu. Zutsu means like one after another. Or so like, for example, you could say like skoshi zutsu. So that'll mean like a little at a time. You know, it'll be like, oh, I walk a little and then I stop. And then I take another step and I stop. That kind of thing. And then shika is used with usually like a verb in the negative tense to describe like a small amount of something. It's like you're calling attention to the fact that it's only a little or only a bit. So in this case, we can say 2つ shika wakarimasen. Right? So when you pair this shika with a negative verb, it basically means I only know blah, blah, blah. So even though this is negatively conjugated, it's still understood to mean like positively, like I do know them, not that I don't know them. All right, next, where did Morio-kun go? Oh, he's stuck in the ceiling. This happens all the time, don't worry about him. So, Yuka sensei and I, that's me, Tara, we're talking. So she says, Tara-san, 昨日 blank 学校に来なかったですか? So Tara yesterday, some question, and then didn't come to school. And then I say, 風邪をひいたんです. So I caught a cold, right? And then here this ndes, that's like the particle that shows I'm giving information, right? She also used it here when she said, 来なかったんです, right? So then here our options are domo. Domo means like thank you. Doshite, that means why. Why? Doshite. Dozo, that means like here you go. Like dozo, yoroshiku onegaishimasu, whatever. So it's like, oh, it's so great to work with you, whatever. Or like dozo, suwatte kudasai. Please sit down. Doyatte, that means how. So like by what means. So here I'm saying I caught a cold. And that, me saying I caught a cold, that's me giving a reason for not coming to school, right? So when we say, like because I caught a cold, that's usually in response to a why question. It's like, why did you not come to school? Because I caught a cold. So here, the question part, the question word or particle, whatever you want to call it, that means why is どうして. So we'll say, 昨日どうして学校に来なかったんですか? Why didn't you come to school yesterday? Troublemaker. Here we got Morio-kun again. He's very invested in this question. He came down from the ceiling just to see it. Okay. 皆さん、日本に blank ことがありますか? So this is everyone. Japan to ことがありますか? So do you have the experience of? So here we have 行けば. So this is like this is like a conditional form, 行けば, like if you can go. 行った, this is the past plain form, so it's you did go. 行こう, this is the volitional form, so it's let's go. And this is 行って, so this is like a command. It's like you go, or like please go. So between all of these, when we have this ことがあります, and here, from the context of 日本に, we can guess that we're trying to talk about like your experience of doing something, right? Like, have you ever been to Japan, right? And the way that we form that kind of sentence or question is we take the past plain form ことがあります. So in this case, we're going to say 行ったことがありますか? Have you ever been to Japan? Have you ever been to Japan, Morio-kun? He didn't answer. Suspicious. お母さんは毎日赤ちゃんにご飯を blah 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 blah. So here we have the mother every day, like probably gives food or feeds the baby, right? 赤ちゃん, little beanie baby, right? Were you a baby once, Mario-kun? Are you still a baby? He's like this big, probably. Maybe this big. Big baby. So here we have 食べている. That means like I am currently eating or I am always eating. 食べられる. That means like either I can eat or like I was eaten. like if I, like imagine, I don't know, like there's a dinosaur. Right? And here's me. And then the dinosaur ate me. That's 食べられる, right? I will be eaten by a dinosaur. Then we have 食べさせる. This means to feed someone, like to make them eat, right? Or it can mean like to give them permission to eat. Like let's say like you're all sitting down to a meal and you're waiting for everybody and then somebody's like, oh please, like go ahead, don't wait, It's like they gave you permission to start eating. And then 食べられた, this is the same thing that we have here except it's the past tense. So now I was eaten by the dinosaur. It's me in his belly. Okay, so here we're talking about a mother and a baby, right? Babies, for the most part, can't really do things for themselves, right? They need people to feed them and change them and clothe them and do all these different things. So in this case, the mother is like making the baby eat. Probably not in like a forceful way, like eat baby, but in like a, a kind, gentle, like here comes the airplane, kind of way. So in that case, in order to say that the mother fed the baby, the mother made the baby eat, we're going to say 食べさせる. Right? 食べさせる. Because the mother is like facilitating the action of the baby eating. All right, next up. Okay, so this is the one where we have to line these up to make the sentence flow grammatically. And then we pick the star, we pick the number that matches the location of the star, right? 今朝寝坊してしまった. This morning I overslept. 授業が始まるラララが間に合った. So, class starts, but I made it in time. So let's see what we got. までに, that means until. かどうか, this is something you put after a question, after a yes or no question, to embed it in a sentence. So you could be like, in English it would be like, I didn't know whether or not I would make it in time, but I la 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 la. And then the sentence continues. So that's what it means by like embedded. It's embedded in the sentence. わからなかった. I didn't know. 学校に着く. Arrive at school. So, we have 授業が始まる. So here we want to say probably, just based on all of these like little sentence pieces we have, we're probably trying to say I didn't know whether I'd make it in time for class. So, 始まるまでに. That means until class starts, right? Because it's 授業が始まるまでに. And then we want to say the next part, which is arrive at school. So it'll be 始まるまでに学校に着く. So arrive at school. And then the next thing we want to put is the thing that embeds our question, right? Because 学校に着く. So if we look at this as a question, like 授業が始まるまでに学校に着くか? Imagine that was the end of the sentence. So will I arrive, by the time class starts? Now, if we want to embed it in the sentence, we just add どうか. So it becomes 学校に着くかどうか? And then usually after an embedded question will come a word like I don't know, or like I wasn't sure. It'll be something along the lines of わからなかった, right? So we have we forgot to write the かどうか. Sorry. That's 2. Okay. And then here we have わからなかった. So it's 授業が始まるまでに学校に着くかどうかわからなかったが間に合った. So I wasn't sure, right? This is the wasn't sure whether or not I would arrive at school like by the time class started, right? But I made it in time. 間に合った. Right? And so here, because we had number 2 coming in this spot, that's our answer. Here we can see them all lined up. までに学校に着くかどうかわからなかった. Next up. All right. What do you think, Mario-kun? He's not even watching. 電話で. Oh, we're on the phone. Okay. Let's give me an excuse to use this prop. はい。日本語の森レストランです。すみません。今日3人、blah blah blah blah. かしこまりました. So, here we have somebody calls a restaurant, right? So this is the person who works at the restaurant, right? So they're like, hello, this is Nihongo no Mori's restaurant. And then this person says, excuse me, today, 3 people, blah, blah, blah. And then the person who works at the restaurant is like, okay, understood. You got it. So usually when you call a restaurant, it's because you want to make a reservation, right? So here we have no desu. This is the same thing as desu. It's sort of like a softener you can put in, like to make a request more polite. Then we have ga, de, and yoyaku shitai, which is to make a reservation. So here we're saying that today, a reservation for 3 people, right? So the way that this works, and like a really common sentence like pattern that you'll see, is that when you make a request, the sentence will end with something like no desu ga. So ga is going to come at the end, because ending on ga implies that you're kind of like trailing off to be like, okay, like now it's your turn to speak, It's sort of like, oh, like I want to make a reservation, but, and then you trail off, but it's implied that what you're saying is, can you help me make the reservation? It's basically you're leaving out the part where the next person should be like taking action, right? So we have no desu ga. So that's our ending. So kyou 3人. So we can say 3人で, because that'll be like, like we're describing the kind of reservation we want to make. Like sometimes you'll say, like when you go to a store, you'll be like, oh, like 店内でお願いします. So like I'd like to, eat in the store, or you'll be like 現金でお願いします. Please pay in cash. So when you say like de, it can describe sort of like the way or the means or like the description of the next thing in the sentence. So that leaves us here with, de is number 3, so let's put that there. And then that leaves yoyaku shitai in number 4. So we get 今日3人で予約したいんですが or 予約したいのですがかしこまりました. So because number 4 comes here in our little star spot, number 4 is going to be our answer. 3人で予約したいのですが. Next up, all right. You crazy kid. これはこのレストランでラララララです。So this is, at this restaurant, something, 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 right? We have ryori, that's a meal, a dish. Ga, nedan, that's the price. And ichiban takai, so that means the most expensive. So based on these clues, we can guess that we're trying to make a sentence that says something like, like out of all the food at this restaurant, this dish is the most expensive. So another clue that can tell us that is we have kono restaurant de. Now this de, you can sort of like imagine that between this, it's restaurant no naka de kind of thing. It's like out of the category of food at this restaurant, this is the most expensive. So in order to say it's the most expensive, we want to say nedan ga ichiban takai, right? Because if we say nedan ga, that means that we're about to describe something about the price, right? It's the same as if you think about like sei ga takai desu, they're tall. Atama ga ii desu, they're smart, right? You're taking the thing you're trying to describe, ga, and then adjective. So here we have thing we're describing, the nedan, ga, and then adjective, takai. So nedan ga ichiban takai, and then that leaves ryori to come at the end, because ryori is a noun that's being modified by this phrase, right? So altogether we get, これはこのレストランで値段が一番高い料理です. And because 4 is in our star spot, our answer is going to be 4. Right? 値段が一番高い料理. Okay, next up. Are you having fun? Me too. Blank, 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 blank. Yuka sensei wa kekkon shita sou da. So, I hear, or apparently, Yuka sensei got married, right? Kekkon shita, got married. So here we have ni yoru to. This like phrase or particle or whatever you want to call it, this means according to. So according to a source, right? And so a source can be a person, it could be something written, it could be something you heard, like it could be the news, the radio, a book, the internet, my mom, my dog, my cousin, anybody. So ni yoru to. And by the way, the thing that is your source comes before ni. So it'll be source ni yoru to. And then what comes after to is the thing that they said. And then here we have hanashi. So that means story, but it also can mean like the thing someone said, or the thing someone told me, or the thing they want to tell me, right? Like hanashi, you could say like hanashi ga aru. That means like, like we have to talk. I have to tell you something. Kade, that means he. And then no. So here, we're probably trying to say that according to him, right? We're going to say according to him, according to what he said. So in order to say what he said, we'll say kare no hanashi, his story, but literally the thing that he said. So it's the thing that he said, kare no hanashi. And then because the thing he said is our source, the next thing that comes is ni yoru to. So it's kare no hanashi ni yoru to. So according to what he said, Yuka sensei wa kekkon shita sou da. Right? So according to what he said, apparently Yuka sensei got married. Who'd you get married to? He doesn't know. Okay, so because the one in our star spot is 2, our answer is going to be 2. Kare no hanashi ni yoru to. Okay, here we go. So this again is a phone ringing, right? This purururu, that's the sound of a phone ringing. Purururu, purururu, it's like shaking a little. Okay. And then we have haha and musume, so that's mother and daughter. So we got gomen, ima ryori shiteru kara. So sorry, I'm cooking right now. Denwa ni something. And then the daughter says, wakatta. So, okay, got it. So, here we're talking about answering the phone. So there's a certain phrase that we can use to like basically mean like to answer the phone, you know, to appear on the phone. So here we have this verb deru, which when you say something ni deru, it means to appear. So to appear on the phone literally means like, you know, you picked up the phone call, you know, you answered it. But you can also say things like terebi ni deru, like I will appear on television. The Nihongo no Mori Morio-kun After Hours Live. I don't know what that would be. Sounds fun though. Okay, denwa ni blah blah blah. So, dete aru. Te aru means like something was put there, or like something was done, or like something is there. So like for example, like kaite aru. That means like it is written. So like hon ni kaite aru. It is written in the book. And then here we have dete moraeru. So this is, you're asking like, could you like do it for me? Like could you appear for me? And then dete moi, that means is it okay if I appear? So dete moi, this is asking for permission. And then here we have deta hogai. So this is like giving strong advice to be like, you should appear. In this case, you should answer the phone. But so here, because the mother is cooking, right? Ima ryori shiteru kara, she is asking the daughter to answer the phone for her. So in order to like request the daughter do something for her, she's going to use this dete moraeru, right? Because it's like she's making a request, like, could you do this for me? Dete moraeru. So it's denwa ni dete moraeru. Could you answer the phone for me? And the daughter says yes. So that's the end of our questions. Yay! How was it? Was it difficult? I think it was pretty okay. Morio-kun had a good time. I won't tell you how he told me, but it might have something to do with a telepathic connection through our little sprout antennas. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Tara with Nihongo no Mori. Did you know Nihongo no Mori now offers N5 and N4 level beginner Japanese classes? These classes were made based off of the textbook series Mina no Nihongo. Lessons 1 through 25 of this series include 6 different types of videos. There you can study grammar, kanji, vocabulary, practice problems, and you can even practice speaking and conversation. So let's start studying Japanese together today. Visit us at nihongonomori.com. See you there!